Looks like we're up. Okay. Good morning, gang. Long time no Twitch. Speak for yourself. Excuse me, still got my morning coffee here. Late start today. Very, very late start today. Okay, we're going backwards a little bit. We haven't done work on this octopus for a while. But this morning, the next jobs that need to be doing, actually I can't do any of them during streaming time. So for the moment, we're going to use this time for just doing some extra catch work on the octopus. But the work I should be doing, I can't actually do here this morning. The gift print, the separations are now ready to be pasted onto the wood. But we sent out the wood last week to the new guy who was doing our dressing, our final dressing of the wood. And it's not back yet. It'll be back tomorrow, Monday morning. This is Sunday in Tokyo. Then I've also, what's next? Shear printing. I've got to do that. But I learned last week when I tried to do that it was really difficult to do that delicate printing while talking on the stream. I messed up a bunch of them. So I've got to continue that in my own time later tonight. Then I've got to work on a problem that you guys don't even know about. There's a printer. When we do we send out our Hunger Club prints, or the gift prints, they're mounted on a backboard, a 1mm thick backboard. And that has printing on it. We print the title of the print and stuff on the backboard. And the printers we've been using for this are an old type of printing that has a rear paper path going through. The last one we've been using has given up the ghost and we can't find any more. It's a 15-year-old printer. We've been out there on auctions trying to find one. So we've got to get a new solution for that printer, and I've got to get working on it right now because that's the way we ship all of our prints. Then critical now is the paper supply. Sawaki-san, the paper, our new paper supplier. The situation is critical because we've got 80 kilograms of kozo fiber up there. He's waiting for me to send him a batch of that kozo fiber along with some sample prints comparing his paper and Iwanasan's paper. So we can compare the paper and discuss and sit down and see what we're how to move forward. And it's waiting for me. I've got to go over there. I've got to get on the train and go over and see the guy. And now we're just in the middle of it also. All these other jobs that are critical jobs for me to do, but I can't sit here and do them on stream. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go back to some quiet carving for the next hour or so. And I'm pretty wiped out. The last couple of days in the shop has been insane in the shop, and we're a little bit at loose ends here what to do. If today is another day like tomorrow, then we can't handle this. There's too many people coming in the door, and there's too many prints leaving the building, and I don't quite know what to do. Anyway, okay, let's just do some peaceful quiet work here. What we've got here. You know how this works, right? We're going to clean this off. No, we're going to cut the edge out first. So let's wake up and get going. Zoom in. My voice sounds different, does it? I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry. I guess I'm tired, whatever. Good morning. I'm okay, I just it's all a bit much these days. It's all a bit much. quite sure where we go here, down the corner. This is right past there to the end of what's in here, to the end of that one. 1, 2, right to the end of that line. 1, 2. This comes off here. That's solid, there's nothing there. Leave that alone. Comes to the 1, 2, third circle up is the end of the line that comes in. Third circle up. 1, 2, third circle up. That's where this line is here. It's a Sunday morning here today, so there won't be any guests. I'll be here by myself. Cameron's off on the weekends always. And there are no other guests scheduled to visit today, so. I've got the door closed too, I'm sorry. It's really, really getting chilly now these days in the morning. So the evenings are chilly and the mornings are chilly. So I'm sorry, the door is going to be closed. So it might spoil our fun with people passing by and stuff like that. But it's just too chilly, I'm sorry. Okay, we've got the outline cut. That's the reason we needed this pasting trace on here. Now I'll clean this up. We'll paste on the dot tracing. That's this piece. Oh, it's in pieces. Not quite sure what we're asking about. The prints I mentioned yesterday, will you sell them at a discounted price in the shop? What prints did I mention yesterday? I'm not sure, I'm sorry. Did we show some flea market stuff? I don't remember what the conversation was. The prints I mentioned yesterday. We've got a tiny bit of flea market stuff today to show this morning. I'm not flea market, I mean auction goods this morning. A few things came in yesterday, a little bit interesting. But, okay, I'm missing some dots here. I'll carve them freehand. Let's have a go at this. Look at this, freehand work. You know what the pattern is all about. It's still wet, they've let the glue dry a bit. Feels good to be doing some actual carving work again. It's been so many days now doing no real work at all. So I can't imagine what it would be like if I had a chance to get back to my bench on a full-time basis, you know. It would be so much fun. Well, actually soon I will be, of course. The gift print carving is coming up. That's going to be starting in a few days. Tomorrow, perhaps. Oh no, the blocks won't be here early in the morning. And then once the gift print carving is done, of course, it's probably going to be the same scenario as last year. There'll be lots of orders for the gift print, we hope. And the other printers are all totally booked up, totally booked solid. So a lot of it's going to be on my desk. So last year we had a lot of a view of me carving owls. This year it's probably going to be me carving the new ones. So yeah, I will be actually doing lots of real work over the next few weeks. So no complaints, no complaints. Are we in the right place? Am I on view? Move this way a bit. Oh, we got people talking here. Mended, not mentioned. Oh, the prints I mended yesterday. Sorry, okay. I'm still half asleep. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, the prints we mended, they're going into circulation. They're normal prints. I know. They're not. We don't consider them defects at all. They're normal prints. I know if you see, the way we normally make prints, the paper and everything gets heavily attacked and abused through all the process. You know, what we did to it yesterday was nothing negative. We were helping put it back together. So So those are not the second class prints. They're normal great wave prints. From our point of view, I don't know if anybody thought there were defects. I don't know. That wasn't the way to try and explain it. Those prints have been examined carefully. They're as beautifully printed as anything we've ever done. What we were talking about was taking out a tiny scrap of bark in the paper and covering it up so that the scar isn't visible. It's not a defect from my point of view. I'm sorry. From my point of view, we've saved something that would have gone in the scrap heap, and now it's going out to have a normal life. As I mentioned earlier, I think maybe if we've got a few things to show this morning, not a great deal, but a couple of things to show you might be of interest. So if I forget when it gets to be about 9 o'clock or something, please give me a jog, and we'll show a couple of packages. No dramatic, really spectacular stuff that's going to send me into fits of screaming and stuff, but just a couple of things to show. Yesterday, Kalai-san was here. He's been off for a few days. And he hadn't seen those large prints that came in last week from the auction. And so he spent a half an hour here last night just looking at those before he went home. And we looked at a bunch of them together now a bit more slowly and carefully, and my God, they're spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Those large prints we got, one of them, I think I showed you, we have the same image more than once. That's a good chance to give some comparisons. You can compare maybe things like block wear and how each printer handled it and stuff. So for one of those prints, we've got the same thing twice, and one of those two is really, really heavily misregistered. And not through the bad work on the part of the printer, it's through the blocks. The color blocks are shrunk. This is normally what happens actually in a typical traditional ukiyo-e production process. To make the key block, they choose a really heavy, we choose a really heavy, hard, dense piece of cherry wood. And for the color blocks, you need a lighter wood so that the water can seep in a bit more and give you smoother color. And we're using plywood backed blocks, so they don't shrink and swell so much. But before that came to be, then it's just a natural wood, and color blocks dance and swell and shrink like crazy. So it's part of a normal part of a printer's job to always be adjusting the size of the color blocks. And you do it with water. You might, if they're too shrunk on both sides, you dump it in a bucket of water and wait for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever it takes for the block to swell up and fit the lines again. It might just be one side. The block might be cupped and curved, so one side is too small, the other side is too large. If the block is arched, then you take a hot towel or something and you put it under the cupped side and let the water do its magic and stuff like that. And one of these prints, the one that came in the new set that we just got the other day, all of the color blocks without exception are pretty much shrunk. And because these are really large prints, it's really, really shrunk. There's a difference of like about 5 millimeters, like a quarter inch or something on some of these. And we're thinking that what we've got here is a batch of perhaps test prints. They're not marked with the same embossing that the other version I have shows. And it gives every indication that they might be test prints. But that's a bit unusual, because why would the blocks be shrunk if they were just newly, freshly carved? Usually blocks shrink when they are much older. So we're not sure, it doesn't make any sense. Another theory might be that these aren't from shrunken blocks. It could be that they screwed up the transfer of the color sheets, because these blocks are so big. And that's easy to do as well. If you get your Gumpy wrong, or your Gumpy's too, get it pasted down wrong, then these things are all going to be the wrong size. And that could be what we're seeing, a test that showed them, whoops, they've screwed it up. We don't know, there's no way to tell. But the more and more you look at any given set of prints, the more stuff you can learn from it, the more that comes out as you sit there and study it, the more and more things you see. That deck of prints, those large prints, it's going to provide us with pleasure and study for a long, 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 long time to come. What I'm doing right now, I'm making extra detail versus the Gumpy impression. When I was preparing, how to explain this, we're pulling the dots from the tracing I made, but I screwed up a little bit the other day. When I took part A, I cut a little bit too much Gumpy paper, and it overlapped part B. So part B is missing a little bit. So what's happened here, I've got the Gumpy for the middle part of this tentacle, but there was no Gumpy for the end part of the top and for the bottom part. So yeah, I'm gonna ad lib here at the bottom. So the dots I carve here in this little bottom section, and those few dots I carved are probably not gonna match Hokusai's original. We're ad libbing a little bit, freestyling. I think it's within the bounds of what we're doing here. Each and every one of these dots doesn't have to be exactly the same, so we're very close. So yeah, I'm sorry, it's a bit confusing. The Gumpy paper comes here. It should have come this far and this far. Sorry about that. But yeah, you guys don't miss anything, do you? You don't miss anything. Fits of screaming. Actually, I'm waking up now. It was a slow start this morning, but I feel better now. Just whatever. What time is it? 8:25. Okay. It just took a little bit of time to get woke up this morning. It was. I say this every morning. It was an insane day yesterday. You just get a tape. Broke new records. We broke new records by a stunning amount yesterday. Absolute stunning amount. The kids at the end of the day, before they went home at 5:30, they're all just, Dave, what are we going to do? There's no prints left, and I'm like, just hang on, we'll try and get some more, we'll find some more somewhere. And the kids here now, they're legitimately worried. They can see the shelves going empty and empty day by day by day. Right now for the Heroes prints, I don't have the Rickshaw Cart. We're out of Fox Moon, we're out of Soul Eater, we're out of Trouble Afoot, and we're out of the Campfire print. There's 5 of them out of stock. And we've never, ever been in this situation before. I've always managed to keep ahead the production of the Heroes. I've managed to keep ahead of the way that they leave here. And now I'm not. I'm behind. And 5 of the prints are now out of stock. Now actually we've got them made. They went over to Jed for signing. I don't know if Jed's listening to the stream today or not. I don't know. I've got to be polite about this. But there was a bit of a confusion at some end as to which ones should be signed and returned to us. And prints that we thought were coming back, we told the customers, yeah, it'll be here in a couple of days, it'll be here in a couple of days. He hadn't actually sent them, so the prints are on the way here, but at the moment we're out of stock in the shop on 5 of them, and we lost so many sales yesterday. People walk by, they see the poster of the rickshaw cart print outside, they come running in, where can I get it? I've got to say, sorry, I don't have them. And what we're trying to do, we tried to tell people, look, okay, no problem, place your order now, pay for it now, give us your name and address, we'll ship it to you. But no, most people, of course, won't do that. They want to see it before they buy it. So. So we're behind. We're out of stock on 5 of them. A new situation for me. And then stuff like the Yoshida prints in stock. We've been trying to keep a reasonable amount of them in stock. And then as they sell, replace them. And that was okay back in the quiet times here. You keep 30 different designs. When somebody purchases one, we let the Yoshida family know, and they send a replacement for it, and we're okay. It doesn't work anymore now when we're doing 20 a day. So we need them in advance. We need them stacking up in advance. And they understandably aren't too happy about doing that. They don't have that many in stock, and they basically don't want me to sit here and take them all. And they now are facing a question as to what to do, because they don't have printing staff either. They've just got one guy, Numabe-san, doing their work. And we're now selling way more, way more than one man can keep up with. So there's a crisis coming there. These Shin-Naga prints we have from Yoshida are soon going to be, they're going to be gone. We need more printers. We desperately need more printers. Emergency delivery for Jet. It says, I got the tracking number last night, yesterday morning. I got the tracking number from this package. I look at it, I do the time zone check, and there it is. It's 4:30 Friday afternoon at his local post office in Provo, Utah. And you know what that means. It's going to sit there in the post office, in his local post office, Saturday, Sunday. So it's not even going to get out of town before Monday morning. And then it's got to get to Los Angeles or Seattle and get over here. I won't see those prints for a week. How are the new hires working out? They are okay. I know they're doing well. Rui-chan especially. Rui-chan and young Yamamoto-san, Yamada-san. Yamada-san's only done, I think, 2 days with us, but Rui-chan's done a bunch of time. She's free. She's a young married girl with no job. She's free completely. And what am I saying? Yeah, she's doing really well. The first couple of days she was here, I was a little ambivalent about one thing. I'm not trying to insult her by what I say next. The way she speaks and talks and gestures, it's kind of like what they used to call valley girls. Remember the expression? When was this? 20 years ago? 30 years ago? I don't even remember. There was a kind of American young woman, the way they talked, and it was this kind of stuff. And that's her way of speech. And it sort of drives me crazy a little bit. Oh my God, you can't speak to customers like that. But she is so effusive and happy and bubbly that it doesn't seem to matter. I'm not quite sure about this, I can't demand that all the staff is the kind of person that speaks the way that I like. Yeah, okay, so I didn't hear her say gag me with a spoon, but I'm saying it's that kind of approach to the way she speaks. And she uses the word like. The word like comes like 10 times. Just said it myself. The word like comes like 10 times in every sentence. It's catching, it's contagious. And anyway, she's happy. She's happy, which is the one thing we demand of all the kids who come and work here. And we've got a list of things, Top thing number one, what do I look for in the people who come to work here? Number one, you got to be a happy, cheerful person, period. Inside your body, you got to be a happy, cheerful person. That's the first thing we look for. Then we go down the list. They've got to speak a bit of English, blah, 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 blah. So, and she fits the beans, and she's fine. She made a bit of a mistake. Was it yesterday she was here? Yesterday or 2 days ago, I can't remember. The days are all blurred together. The store was a tiny bit quiet for a minute, and a woman came in who was, it turned out she was going to do the print party an hour from now. She just came in early. And she came in and looked at the prints, and Dewey Chan thought she did the right thing. She went over and said, hello, how are you doing? Welcome to the shop. And which I've asked the girls to do. Always greet people, but then keep away from them. Don't do the hovering around. And Dewey Chan started hovering. She stood next to this lady and hovered. And then the woman looked at her, and I'm like, I want to gesture to Dewey Chan, leave her alone. Just don't helicopter hover over the customers. And then Dewey Chan said, what part of America are you from? And she started a general conversation. And the woman said, Utah. And Dewey Chan said, oh, I've got just a thing for you. And she pulls her over the Yoshida, starts showing her the Monument Valley, a $400 print. And I'm like, Dewey Chan, don't do this, you know. So after they'd finished and the woman was away, I pulled Dewey Chan away and said, look, please, please, chatting with the people is okay. You know, be friendly, be smiley, okay, but don't sort of say, oh, I've got just a thing for you. We do not sell prints here. We don't ever do this. And she said, but this is a print, the woman might like it. And I'm like, yo, that's okay, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that kind of shop, you know. If she asks you stuff, bingo, go for it, show her anything. But don't, out of your own mind, don't push stuff on people, you know. We don't want to be that kind of shop, you know. The woman would leave and think, oh my God, what are they doing, trying to get me to buy this, you know. So it's okay, she'll pick up our ethic here as time goes by. But number one, she's a cheerful, happy person. And what we're doing actually, today's Sunday, next Tuesday, we're officially closed on Tuesdays, but now this is so insane. We're going to be, don't tell anybody, we're going to be actually open Tuesday through October and November. Not in an official way. We're not changing our hours, simply we're going to be with the door open. So if there are people who walk down the street, of course, we're here. And we found too many people. They see the video on the airplane. They don't know anything about closed on Tuesdays. Of course not. So they come here, bang. So last Tuesday was full. The Tuesday before was full. So Dewey Chan, and we're short for staff. So Dewey Chan's going to help me on Tuesdays. So next Tuesday, I'll be here by myself with Dewey Chan. No party bookings, nothing like that. Just simply, we'll keep the door open. And she's fine. She's fun to work with. She's okay. Yeah, when I said we don't sell prints, I meant we don't underline, we don't sell anything in terms of trying, sell is a verb, as in trying to push and whatever. We make, you know what I mean, whatever the matter. How will the cash flow work out? I don't have any idea what to say on that. I know the cash is pouring in, of course. We're selling prints like crazy, so the cash is pouring in. It's also pouring out. Of course, that's the way it works. But it's pouring out just as quickly. For example, I mentioned Yoshida prints. The thing, we had one of each in stock. And what we had been doing is we had one of each in stock, and we hadn't paid for them. It's sort of a consignment deal. They were happy to have their prints sitting here on display. When one sells, we call them up. We did it month by month. When one sells, we ask for a replacement. We get an invoice. We pay the bill for it. So it suited everybody. We didn't have a big investment in it. They've got the prints sitting in their shelves, sitting in their stockroom anyway, so the shelves, the prints could happily sit here. But now it doesn't work like that. I need 5 copies of the print here, not just one. And they're not going to dump all their whole inventory, just put it in my shop. So it switched. They now want me to order prints, pay for them, and put them in the shop. This is common sense. I'm not angry at them. I can't be upset about that. So yesterday we sold, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Yoshida prints. I don't know. So after a couple more days, we've got to order another, 30, 40, 50 prints from them. These are expensive. These are expensive prints. So when Cameron was here Friday, he wrote them a check for $5,000. Bang. And that's going to be enough prints for a week or a few days or something. So it comes, the money flows in and shovels out and flows in and shovels out and flows in and shovels out, At the end of the year, there will be more profit than not. So of course, we will then probably bonus all the staff again and stuff like that. So at the moment, right now, this month, cash is not a problem. Come February, it's going to be a different story. So anyway, I got to work. An experience yesterday with the Yoshida prints and all, and I had really mixed feelings. This happened twice. The same thing happened twice yesterday. Once there was a young guy he's here from France. He was here to visit some kind of media lab kind of conference or something like that, whatever. He's a young guy, not some special job, not a, whatever. He's got a budget for this. He had known about our work. He came in, he had a specific need. He wanted to get one of the Yoshida landscape prints. So he did. I forget which one he picked up. The Bamboo Grove in Hakone. He'd been to Hakone Hills, so he'd seen the Bamboo Grove. And when he was ready to pay, he says, do you take credit cards? And we do. And he says, I don't know quite if there's enough. This is my card that I had prepared for this trip, and I'm not sure how much is left on it. And whatever, we can't say anything, whatever, if it doesn't work, we'll cancel. Don't worry about it. He says, yeah, I know. I really want to get one of these prints. I've been thinking about this for many years. It's pretty tight for my budget. We just, I send it. We don't say, get it now because it's your last chance. We just say, look, they will be here next year, come on. So anyway, so just at the time when he's made this decision which one to buy, just at the edge of his budget, he sees somebody else come to the counter next to him with the Yoshida print of the Silver Pavilion. And the kid says, what? Yoshida made a print? That's where I was last week in Kyoto. I love that place. Can I see that? So now he's torn which one to get, the Bamboo Grove, but the other person has already picked the Silver Pavilion. And I said, well, we have another copy. So I go and pull another copy, put it on the table. And now he's back to the beginning. He's, oh my God, what should I do? I love this one. I love that one. I love this one. And then he says, can I use the Wi-Fi? He uses the Wi-Fi and he goes online to his bank's website and where they check money on credit cards and stuff. And I'm like, I'm watching a young kid try and make a decision to spend too much money. An older guy, Dave Bull wants to say, kid, put your wallet in your pocket. Get out of here. You don't need stuff. Don't buy stuff. Don't run your credit card up too high. That's not how to do life, Then Dave Bull, the shop owner, sitting here waiting for the guy to make his decision on what to buy, And I couldn't bear it. I had to tell him, look, please, just get one of them. Don't do that to yourself. I've been there. I've done that. When I was a kid, I used too much money on my credit card, whatever. Maybe it's just something we all go through. I don't know. So I told him, don't sweat it. This will be back here later. Don't worry. He says, really, are you sure? Well, I can't guarantee what Yoshidas are going to do, but please, look at the date on the print. It's 1951. It's been in print since 1951. It's probably still going to be around here next year. Don't sweat it. And he listened and he hummed and he hawed. And he said, now what? I'm going to take both of them. And I processed the sale, ran it through his credit card, and we did that. And I didn't, nothing hostile, whatever. I happily prepared them for him and got it ready. The kid was doing something to make himself happy. But I really thought, my God, what am I doing, he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have run his credit card up too high. It's a beautiful print and all that stuff, but here I am helping somebody to get in debt, I really, really have mixed feelings about this. Some people, it doesn't matter. They come in, a couple, a retired couple, the guy's a doctor, they can just do what they want. It doesn't matter. They've got resources all up there. Yeah, but young people like this spending too much money, I don't know. I'm not sure if I should be concerned about this or if it's my responsibility or what. When you're a bartender, when the guy comes in and they have 2 drinks and he starts to fall off his stool, right? The bartender is not supposed to sell him anymore. That's sort of your responsibility as a bartender because, once people get a bit drunk, they get looser, they'll tend to spend more money or something. I think you got a responsibility to say to the guy, sorry, look, you've had enough, get out of here. And should I do that as a print shop? Am I selling drugs, So this is part of the reason why I had that conversation with Louis-chan. I do not want under any circumstances to push this. I want that kid, when he gets home, when he's looking at his bank statement next month, oh shit, those guys in that print shop really pushed this on me, I want to make sure he absolutely doesn't have that feeling at all. So. Well, I don't know what kind of card it was, but he was clearly struggling with the decision to buy this or not to buy this. And it was clearly a financial question. He had his budget. He said first, even the first print by itself was pushing his budget a little bit too much. And then he threw another one on top because it was, wow, I gotta have that, Are we selling drugs, man? The last few days, last couple of weeks, we've seen quite a few of that kind of experience, you know. People really trying to decide, oh my God, oh my God. The books, you know, we've got a section now of the old novels. The one I showed you some of those novels in a YouTube video a month or a couple months ago. And we have a section of those novels in the shop. And they're doing very well. And they're not, you know, all that cheap. It's like 9,000 yen for a bit of a tattered copy, maybe about 12,000 yen for a pair that are in really, really good condition. So it's still nearly $100 to get one of these old novels, you know. And they're cool, they're neat, they're fun to look at. We've got a display of them, and there's a bunch of them leaving the shop here now. But there's been a couple of people who have bought a couple too many, I think, you know. There's a shop downtown near Akihabara. It's in the north end of the Akihabara area, near Suehiro-jo subway station. And it's a, quote, print shop, unquote. I don't mean prints like the kind of stuff we sell, the Japanese ukiyo-e prints, whatever. It's a print shop in a modern sense. They sell lithographs and stuff like that. And actually what it is, it's a poster shop in real life. What they've got is posters. They're just printed posters of modern artists, modern Japanese artists. One is Yamagata, what's his name? Yamagata Hiroshi, I forget his name, I can't remember. It's, it's pseudo art. They're generic, illustrative type stuff by somebody who's got a little bit of a reputation as an artist. And the shop there, it's got two women outside, and they're trying to catch the young guys who go by. Their target is a young salaryman type person. And the prints are all like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, stuff like this. They're bright, bold colors. They've got them framed on the wall. It's some modern schlock illustrations. You know. One of them is the guy, what's the name of the guy who does those things in the sea? There's a blue sea with these strange whales and all that kind of stuff, and funny speckled colors, and then sun coming down through the water. This is a genre of these kind of things. It's real schlock, poster illustration type stuff. And they're stunningly, stupendously expensive. And this shop is the real, come on, this is investment art. If you pay, you know, $4,000 for this thing now, oh my God, a couple of years from now, it's going to be worth $10,000 easily, you know. And they got the credit cards thing, and they get the salarymen coming by, and the two attractive girls do the spiel and the spiel and the spiel. It's a total scam, an absolute total scam. I think shops like that exist everywhere in many countries, but there's one here in Akihabara, and every time I walk by that thing, the girls look at me, won't you come and have a look at the pictures, please? I'm just repelled, absolutely repelled by that. All they want to do is get a credit card signature out of those young men. They're repellent creatures, those salesmen, repellent creatures. It's partly a response to that kind of shop that we run our own, you know, zero pressure shop. What's this? Error message on my screen. Oh, nothing to do with this. Okay. Questions. Oh, I'm not following. Hang on a sec. Are your prints available online? Yes, we have a website, lots of stuff. If you go to mokohankan.com, we have lots and lots and lots of stuff online. What are we talking about? 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 yen? No. No, the prints I was talking about, the scam shop in Akihabara, we're talking about 400,000 yen, 600,000 yen, $4,000, $4,000 they sell those things for. I wasn't wrong. This is the point. It's a scam shop. The kid signs on for the credit card, 36 easy payments of $150 each and stuff for this stupid lithograph on the wall. It's a scam outfit. Absolutely a scam. That's my point. And they're all overselling these things as being investments. You can get your money back anytime. This is a way to save money. You're not actually spending money. You're just saving money. If you keep the cash, you'll probably spend it on booze or something. Spend it on one of these prints and your investment is on the wall. Like so. Yeah, Kincaid's type of stuff. It's a schlock, just whatever. I don't know why you're surprised. This happens all over the place. There's shops like this selling these kind of posters all over the place. They're offset printed, they're signed by the artist, and they're worth nothing. They're worth absolutely nothing. John, when you're here next month, I'll show you. I'll show you the location of the place. You can walk by it. You're going to be in Akihabara anyway. So I'll show you what it is. You can walk by it. You can go in there. Hang out of your credit card because those girls have a spiel. Short-skirted girls trying to catch the nerds in Akihabara. I mean, they know what they're at. Location here. Where's my glasses? noise that I even probably hear girls and stuff chatting outside. It's the kimono shop next door getting ready. We think we've had a busy weekend and busy times. Those guys, oh my God. They now have around, I was trying to count their staff. I'm trying to count how many people are working there, you know. And what happened yesterday, there was, not yesterday, a couple of days ago, one of the girls who's working there, who's been working there for a long time, she left. She's, I think she's getting married or something, I don't know. So she left, and because she was leaving, all the other staff came to the front door to say goodbye to her. Screw that, just a minute, let's get this ready. So it gave me a chance to see all the staff together. And I counted 15 people, 15 or 16, it was hard to count. And our demand is high, their demand is way, way higher. The stream of customers that comes through that shop every day. Can I get some glue here, Dave? I'm out of glue. Here we go, there's a dab. Got some. Am I okay? Let's do this. Upside down, where am I? Hard to make my head wasn't bolted on. I forget. Okay, that might be the last piece down on this block, you know, actually. I think we've got the head done, we've got this done. I think this might be the last one of our, I've got a bit too much water on it, it's got to dry for a minute. All right, let's see, what conversation have I missed? Sorry guys, conversations. Oh, I'm missing everything here, okay. Richard from Sendai. Do I remember you by name? Did you tell me your name? I don't know, I'm sorry. Lots of people come in, you know, and they chat and they talk and they say thank you and we have good conversations and I have no idea, they don't say their name, so I don't know who you are, I'm sorry. Or maybe you told me and I just went through one ear and out the other, I'm sorry. Anyway, thanks for coming in. Matchbox labels, it's coming up. But that does remind me, we do have a little bit of show and tell. Nothing to do with Matchbox labels. This glue has got to dry. Let's do a tiny bit of show and tell from what arrived yesterday. The Matchbox label YouTube video, now it's just going to have to be on the back burner for a little bit, you know. I shouldn't have talked about it. What can I do? Okay, let's put it. Okay, very, very small, light show and tell. Two things to show you. Well, it's already open, so anyway, this is one thing. And this is the other. This is not new. You've seen these before. You just simply, I want you to see how this works. Some of you may not have seen this before. For some of you, this is regular routine here at Mocha Hong Kong. I don't have a knife. Oh yeah, okay, I remember you now. They're getting woodblock supplies, Matsumoto-san and stuff. And then we talked about Twitch. Okay, I got you. Okay, this first one. This is not auction goods. These are Mocha Hong Kong goods. They're just Those of you who have not seen how this works, this is one of our printers, Kanai-san, a young girl who got pregnant about 2 years ago and who quit. 2.5 years ago, I guess, 2 years ago. She was our top printer. Young Ayumi was coming along, but Kanai-san was much more experienced. Really doing well. About 2 years ago, she quit to have a baby. I don't have a knife, but I can't use a carving knife for opening a package. Give me a break. If I did that, every carver from the time immemorial would send lightning bolts down onto my head. This is a printmaking tool. You can't use it for, like, cutting your fingernails or something. No, no. How dare you suggest such a thing? And as I said, no surprise, but for those of you who have never seen this kind of thing before, it can be really a gas. It can be really fun. A batch of prints straight back from the printer. Woodblock prints en vogue en masse. And this is the core of what we do. And there's so many important points here. Yes, it's a print. Yes, it looks like Jed's Master. But when you look at this, I can cut this deck at random anywhere. And these prints are going to look exactly the same. She has done a magnificent job. I'm so happy we've got her. Horiburu Suri Kanai Chiharu. This is Chiharu Kanai. She's a young woman now with a new young baby. Baby's about 1.5 years old, nearly 2 years old. Kanai-san has recently separated from her husband. She's gone back to live with her mother. And for us, that's the best news I've ever heard in years and years and years. Because she needs money, her mother takes care of the kid, and as a result, we have a steady stream of beautiful, beautiful woodblock prints coming out of her workshop. Look at this. They are just perfect. They're just perfect. I'm so proud that we're able to do this, you know. My God, these are perfect. You saw me, you've seen this paper before. I know, what if it wasn't last week, this would be, if you roll back now, it'd be about 3 weeks ago or something. I was doing some sizing up on the 3rd floor. I must have told you, you know, here's the paper, it's a big sheet of Takinaga, this is going to make 8 Ukiyo-e Heroes prints, blah, 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 blah. So the paper you saw me doing the sizing on a couple of weeks ago. No, and then I pressed, remember? I showed you, those of you who were on that stream. You saw me one by one running these sheets of paper through our etching press to calendar the front surface. And because we've done that, she's able to print this color so beautifully smooth. I mean, this girl is lucky too, you know, to have this job. She got those skills years ago, but now to have this job, she can work at home, the baby's right next to her, and she gets paid tons of money for this, tons of money for this. The other thing too about the blocks, we are well over 1,000 copies on this rickshaw cart print now. I don't have it in my fingertips. Well, I can find out. No, I can't. I've closed my browsers. Hang on. Mokonkan Manager page. Print sales information, rickshaw cart print. 1,290. 1,290 copies of this print have left this workshop so far. So this is 1,300 now, 1,300 to 1,400. And I tell you, the delicate points, the thin lines of the mustache, look at this, the thin lines at the back of the hair, the spokes on the cart, everything thin. There's nothing, I can't tell the difference between the earliest copies and this one. We are really taking care of these blocks to an extent that no other workshop even understands, comprehends how to do. And they come up absolutely identical. This is our pride. Not just our, I mean the pride of a good Japanese print workshop. My God, look at this. Jed, are you watching today? I'm not sure which one we sold the most of. It's either this one or the Great Wave, one or the other. I don't know. They're just sort of racing each other up and up and up and up and up and up, you know. So there we are. Beautiful, beautiful batch of prints. I got to phone her this morning and say thank you again. She's already working on the next batch. Of course, we're feeding her. You know, when she gets towards the end of a batch, well, actually, look at this. We've got some cut corners. Sure. She says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets didn't make the cut. We can play the game. We always play this game. What's wrong with it? There, there's something wrong. It's a tiny little mark in the corner there. I think that's probably enough for her. Can't fix that. What's wrong with this one? Anybody find it? No idea, but she's serious that there's something wrong. She's cut it so far that we can't possibly sell this. But you know, I've told her, as we mentioned in yesterday's stream, I've told her, don't cut the corners too much. You know, cut a little bit off the corner to show me what you're telling me, but don't cut it so far that the print's destroyed. Because quite often I can fix these, but they don't know. Well, I can't even find what's wrong with this one. Anybody see it? Maybe. Is that really what she's talking about? There's a little thing here where there was a loose hair on the block and it's made a mark in the background. Is that what she's talking about? Can you see it there? There's sort of a little horizontal mark. If I get it so that it catches the light. Can you see it? There was a loose brush here. There isn't a clean one there. Is that what she's talking about? She's going to lose $30 because of that? Really? Oh, look right here. These are the first couple. Some of the color now is a bit weak. This will be the first couple she did as registration tests and getting it going. The blue is a bit weak. So I get that. These are the first couple of copies. So they just don't fit in terms of color balance and stuff like that. So a bit weak on the edge of the border. So I get the first few copies. So maybe what she's done is she's just cut the first ones just as a matter of course. I don't know. No idea. Anyway, Dave's get back to work. Okay, set this aside. So the defect is the cut corner, yeah, right, and round we go. What's the defect? Well, the corner's cut. Okay, the other thing to show is that this is from auction goods. We're buying stuff online to try and sell on the flea market, and this little item came up the other day, and I'm not sure if we'll be selling it. It came in. It was in an auction. And it's cute. It's a really cute item. What we've got here, let's see. It's carved. It's got a little carved like woodblock prints. Japanese flowers and birds by Hiroshige and Hokusai. 6 prints a set with explanation. Notice it's Hiroshige Hokusai Kachoga flower bird picture. It's a genre Kachoga. And this is from Kyoto Hangain. It's a Kyoto company that also operated in Tokyo. It's funny, the Kyoto Hangain in Tokyo. And this was created for the tourist market, and this would have been They probably first published something, I guess, in the pre-war tourist era. During the 1930s, there was quite a tourism boom here. You know, it was the ocean liners used to come from San Francisco to Yokohama and drop their people off. Then they'd go to Kobe, and then they'd go down to like Shanghai and stuff like that. Japan was a major destination on the tourism in the pre-airplane era and the pre-war era. And this would have been the kind of thing made to catch the eye of the tourists. And then this particular one I've got here, I think, is a post-war production. This would be 1950s, I think, late 1940s or 1950s. There wasn't much tourism in Japan in that era, but there were GIs were here, they were buying stuff, things like that. And it's a nice little album. Let's have a look and see what it is. And we have right away, it's all English explanation, because it was aimed at the tourists. English explanation and a Japanese one as well. There's no date on this. This is clearly post-war now. This is clearly post-war, but I think the set was created pre-war. And we've got 3 prints from Hiroshige and 3 prints from Hokusai. His daring character is divulged in these pictures of flowers and birds too. His character is vividly shown in his pictures of bold composition and sharp-touched depiction. The English is fine, but it's not English that they would have written. It's a translation from the Japanese. And here they are. They are bird and flower pictures, and they're about this big. That's my hand. And they're all reduced in size from what the original would have been as an Oban print. And they're tipped into a folder. And printed like this. This is definitely post-war. There's no this paper is clean white. It's definitely post-war. I said 50s. It might be 60s. It's a bit too clean. And they're nicely done. They're nicely tasted. Nicely done. Sparrows in the Snow. It's a bit of a simplified version. The original picture by Hiroshige would have been a larger, taller Tanzakuban. We have those in our shop sometimes too. And this is a smaller, slightly simplified version. They're a little bit on the cute side. Zoom in a bit more, maybe. They're very clean and white, very, very clean. It's a bit unusual because when we find prints from this era, there's nearly always, we open it up and oh my God, it's foxed, it's or moldy or something. These are really quite nicely done. Oh, nice gradations on the back of these. If we had the blocks for these, if we had the blocks for these, we could run these off. My God, they'd be great, wonderful bestsellers in the shop. Some, I guess you could price it about 4,000, maybe 5,000 yen. You could do that. The printers could really push them out quite quickly. Customers would be happy. Oh, look at this, a kingfisher. These are about double postcard size. Yeah? I think that's about a postcard size, and these are double. And they're printed quite tastefully, really. They're on a really thin paper. This is not the most expensive deep Hosho paper. It's really thin. It might be pulp inside too. I'm not quite sure. I can't tell. It's what makes it so easy and quick to print, so smooth. Pulp paper prints just so beautifully smooth color. A bit of an evil-looking kingfisher. My God. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And this one, actually, we've had this before in a large version, and it's a bestseller in the shop. I think he's missed a bit. The key block should have been darker. We've missed the shape of the bird. We can't see his head clearly. And the magnolia leaves purple, that's a bit too strong. They've kept the key block. I like it. They've kept it light like I like it, but it hurts the bird. And this one's a bit of a funny design. It's a famous design by Hiroshige. But the problem is, at first sight, where's the bird? And actually it's in there. There's a bird in there. It's a bit difficult to see there. There's the bird's head. The beak is facing upwards. Can you see it? Perhaps see it better straight on. There's a bird hidden in there. But I think it's a bit of a clumsy design. Well, it's a nice flower picture, but if it's supposed to be a bird, I think we've missed it a bit too much. And then we got our label. Kyoto, Hungary, Shinagawa. Hajuku. Very nice production and in beautiful condition. Really nice. Quite frequently, when we get sets like this in an auction, almost always there's one missing. Because when people got these sets, they'd have a little frame that goes with it. So they put one of the prints in the frame, they put the others on the shelf, and with the best of intentions, they're going to change them out and change them out. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. But even if they do change them out, at some point the guy gets older, there's a print in the frame on the wall, the other 5 are in the album, somebody dies, stuff gets dispersed, passed on to different people, and always the print sets come, and there's 1 or 2 missing, because somebody framed them and they didn't get put back in the case. Or the other really common case is it was put against the wall of the bookshelf and the back print is heavily foxed or moldy. But this set is beautifully clean, so there's no way I'm going to be breaking this up. If it had come to me with one of them is moldy and there's 1 missing, then that's it, it's a bad set. So we just break it up, put the individual prints in the shop and save them. But a set like this, which is completely clean and clear, we're going to keep this for our collection first, and if I get another set, then we will put it into the shop as a set by itself. Very nice. It's rare to come to us in such nice condition, so I'm going to keep this for our collection. It'll go into the display when we get around to display. Okay, I better get a few minutes back onto my block, I think. I'm really supposed to be working here. Where am I? Here. I'm feeling better now. I'll tell you, when I put on this stream this morning an hour or so ago, I really wasn't doing so well, but we're up and running now. We're up and running now. In we go, in we go, in we go, in we go. Yoisho. Okay, we got a few minutes left here. So what's the schedule coming up now? Today it's Sunday morning here. We've got one more day in our weekly schedule of streams. Tomorrow morning, I was hoping I'd be able to maybe get carving on the gift print for you, but as I said, I don't have the blocks yet. They're coming back from the planing company. And they won't be coming back today because it's a Sunday, so they'll be coming back Monday, which means they won't be here in time for me to be working on them on stream time. So tomorrow's stream, I'm not quite sure what it'll be. I don't have easy work on my desk, and tomorrow we've got 5 print parties scheduled. We normally don't do that. We do a max of 4 a day, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2:30. Then we had an extra one at 4 o'clock when there's heavy demand. But tomorrow there's been a request from somebody. They couldn't meet the rest of the schedule. It was their last day in Japan. Can we really squeeze something in? So one of the staff booked a 11:30 party. So tomorrow it's going to be really not much fun at all. 10 o'clock party, 11:30, 1, 2:30, and 4, plus a normal busy shop. Here's the shutter going up. It's kawaii-san now. So we're almost, our day is ready to begin. I can hear the footsteps going up the stairs in the back behind me. Something else I forgot to mention too, to regular viewers, I don't know, how are we doing with the four-legged visitors here? And it's interesting, the traps we set, the actual catch traps, you know, the ones with peanut butter inside and stuff like that, caught nothing. They're still spread around here and there in the building, but we've caught absolutely nothing with those. But Aoyama-san, a while ago, was it a week ago? I don't remember. Maybe it was already a week ago. He ordered a special bunch of sticky paper traps. It's this extremely strongly sticky paper that you spread here and there on the floor, in the corners, in places where we have knowledge that the rats are running around. And the idea being that they step on it, get stuck, they fall over, their body gets stuck, and that's it. They sit there wriggling until you come and take care of them in the morning. And so far, nothing, zero. But we haven't caught any of them, but neither have we heard anything. Not a peep, not a sign of them, not anything. It's been total, absolute silence from the rat department now for nearly a week. So it could be that perhaps he's blocked, you know, somehow blocked the entrances where they get out into the shop here. I don't know. We don't have enough hard data here. But at the moment, it seems, you know, we've got some sort of stalemate happening, I guess. I don't really know what to say. We've been in this situation before where we thought we blocked entrances and we were going to have our rat problem solved, and then bang, they come back with a bang. But at the moment, all I can report is that it seems to be stalemate again, because there's been no sign of them now ever since he put those sheets down. Having said that, I guess I know what's going to happen. One more run by the camera or something. Good morning, say hello.
Hello.
So this is Kawai-san, of course. We're getting ready for a busy day here. It's chilly, but we're going to open the doors at both ends to get some fresh air in here first. So, yeah, so fresh air, yo. Yo!
来ましたね。いっぱいやってる。
いっぱいじゃない、いっぱい。He found, did you see him walk by the empty beer can? I had one small can of beer last night before crashing. So, Kawai-san, have a look at this. Kanai-san から。
はい。
Kanai-san から。
マリオ。なんかさっきちらっと見てた。
そう。いやー、ね、見た？ウェンで、そう。すごい綺麗。本当にすごい綺麗。
完璧ね。
完璧でしょ。
ね。
これよりいいものが考えられないです。本当に wonderful。
ペースもうガンガンやってる感じ。
もうだから送って3日ぐらいの間に、3日か8日の間に、そう。It's not just she's doing a good job. The pace, she just keeps another group. She keeps telling me more Dave.
まあ、簡単だなと思ってると思う。簡単とは思わないけど、イージーではないけど、まあ普通にやってるって感じじゃないですか。もっとあれとか今マリオが
まあこれはそんなに難しくはないぼかし一つでも綺麗本当に綺麗
できんじゃないですけどでも金井さんだってもう足立代から大西ガンガンやってたって感じ
そうよ足立に、そうなめらかにやってた
とかもできるじゃないですか 白い版画の大きいやつとかも、もしかしたら。
やったよ。彼女がまだいる間に、ファイナルファンタジーとか、ジェイクのヒーローズのファンタジーもやった。
そう。さんが消えたけど、たら俺よくないけど。
Okay. Okay. I got to sign off here. We got a long day coming up for us now. Today's okay. We got good staff for us today. Staff is large and the print price is going to be low. But tomorrow we're short-staffed and too many parties. Got to get going. Alcohol. I didn't get drunk. I had one small 300cc can of beer. Believe me, I can handle that. That's okay. And you saw he carried two things. He carried a can of the empty beer can and the empty Orangina can as well. Okay, I'm out of here. Tomorrow, I have no idea what the stream tomorrow will be. This block is pretty much finished. I don't have anything else on my list that I can do in a stream tomorrow. I really don't know what to do tomorrow's stream. I'm sorry, I don't know. Anyway, we'll worry about it 24 hours from now. See you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about being a little bit drowsy, whatever, this morning. Over and out. See you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye. To-do lists. God, how much am I going to check off today? Can't touch that, can't touch that, can't touch that. Don't even bother making a list. It's not going to do anything with it. Okay, see you next time. Thank you.